My mom sold my laptop without telling me. When I was 16, my parents and I weren't doing great financially. I knew money was tight, but they never really talked about it. One Friday after school, I came home and immediately noticed something was missing. My laptop. It wasn't expensive, but I'd saved for almost 2 years to buy it. I used it for school, gaming, and video editing. I asked my mom where it was. She didn't even look up from the kitchen table. I sold it. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Apparently our electricity bill was overdue and she needed the money. I was furious. That laptop was mine. I'd worked for it. We ended up having one of the biggest arguments we've ever had. For weeks, I barely spoke to her. I started staying later at school just to avoid being home. The worst part was that my parents acted like I was being selfish. Every time I brought it up, they'd say things like, "You care more about a computer than your family." Eventually, I stopped arguing. What was the point? A few months later, I got a part-time job and slowly saved enough money for another laptop. Life moved on. Or so I thought. A year later, I was helping my dad organize old paperwork. That's when I found a folder full of overdue bills from around the time my laptop disappeared. I expected to see some huge emergency. Instead, I found something strange. The electricity bill wasn't overdue. Neither was the water bill. Nothing was. In fact, most of the bills had already been paid. I spent the next hour checking dates. The numbers didn't add up. At dinner, I finally asked my parents about it. The room went silent. My dad looked at my mom. My mom looked at the floor. Then she started crying. Turns out they hadn't sold my laptop to pay bills. My older brother had gotten into serious debt, thousands of dollars. He'd borrowed money from people he couldn't pay back. My parents were terrified he was going to get hurt. So they sold whatever they could to help him, including my laptop. They never told me because they knew I'd be angry at him. For a moment, I felt guilty for how I'd acted. Then I asked the obvious question. Did he ever pay you back? Neither of them answered. That was answer enough. The thing that still bothers me isn't that they sold my laptop. It's that they chose to lie to me for over a year. And if I hadn't accidentally found those papers, I don't think they ever would have told me the truth.